Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, December 5th, 2022. It's 7 p.m. here in City Hall, City Council Chambers, for the regular meeting of the City Council. I'll officially call the meeting to order and entertain a roll call, please.
Birgen.
Here I am.
Drenkow.
Here.
Kangas.
Present.
Meyers.
Here.
Rathe.
Here.
Schneider.
Here.
And Beaufore is absent.
Perfect. Moves us to Section C, the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. We'll move to Section D, the approval of the agenda. Entertain a motion to do so.
I'll move approval of the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Birgen. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Section E is approval of the minutes. Entertain a motion.
I will move approval of the November 21, 2022 regular meeting minutes and the November 28, 2022 study session meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Birgen. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Section F is our guest councilperson that has joined us for the month of December at the invitation of Councilman Brian Birgen is Shar Rorda. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Welcome
to meet you.
aboard.
Thank you.
If Brian has any opening comments?
Well, I know Shar because she teaches a class at the W that I don't go to as often as I should. But Shar is a business owner, an author, a wife and mother, and she's active in the community. And I thought you'd be a good person to have some input tonight.
Excellent. If you have anything you'd like to add about yourself, we'd be more than happy to.
Yeah, just happy to be here. I feel very honored to be a part of this, and I'm ready to soak it all in.
Okay. So as Brian alluded, I can participate in the meeting up until our executive sessions that we have this evening, but feel free to chime in with any conversation.
Okay.
All right. Move forward to Section G, the public hearing. Item number 1 is the date, time, and place for a public hearing on adopting the city code of the City of Waverly, Iowa. Do we have any written or oral comments, Carla?
We do not, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any public comments from anybody that's joined us this evening? See nobody rise, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the second reading of Ordinance 1113, adopting the city code of the City of Waverly, Iowa. Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Kangas. Council discussion? Hearing none, roll call Carla.
Birgen.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Rathe.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
On a vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, the second reading of Ordinance 1113 is approved. Section H is public comments for items not on the agenda. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes unless additional time is granted by the presiding officer. All remarks shall be addressed to the council as a whole and not to any individual member. Are there any public comments this evening? Seeing nobody approach, we'll move forward to Section I, the consent calendar. The following items will be acted upon by voice vote on a single motion without separate discussion unless someone from the council or public requested a specific item be considered separately. Item 1 is a pay request from WHKS for Waverly WPCF improvements, construction phase engineering services for $19,142.30. Item 2 is a pay request from Modern Designs for design services for Cedar River Park Youth Ballfields for $3,000. Item 3 is a pay request from McClure for Waverly Municipal Airport, reconstruct South T hangar taxi lane for $7,219. Item 4 is a pay request from McClure for Waverly Municipal Airport, construct taxiway connector for $1,953.50. Item 5 is a pay request from Buildings and Grounds LLC for South Riverside Plaza 2021 for $5,000. Item 6 is a Class C retail alcohol license for Pep Corp. Incorporated, doing business as Big Ben Poorhouse. And item 7 is a special Class C retail alcohol license for Asian Garden Incorporated. Entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll move approval of the consent calendar as read by the mayor.
Second.
Motion by Meyers, second by Rathe. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Brings us into Section J, regular business, item number 1. It's the second reading of Ordinance 1114 for engaging in food and beverage services and cart storage at the Waverly Golf Course. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of the second reading of Ordinance 1114 for engaging in food and beverage services and cart storage in connection with operation of the Waverly Golf Course in accordance with Iowa Code Chapter 23A.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Birgen. Council discussion, if any.
So one question I have, is there any rules against people bringing their own food onto the golf course? If I wanted to bring myself a sandwich to eat on the third green,
Food, no. Alcohol is illegal in Iowa.
so,
It's a state law.
right, so no alcohol, but I can bring a sandwich, I can bring a soda. Okay,
It's frowned
Not
upon,
really.
but yeah.
I mean, it's not like going to the movies where you're not allowed to bring your own snacks.
I think technically speaking, it would be, because you own the premises and you're there visiting to play golf, and they serve food and beverage, but I don't think anybody's gonna stop somebody pulling out something out of their pocket.
I wouldn't think you'd take your lunch into Applebee's and sit down and eat it there. I mean, it's a similar situation where you're providing food service. You probably wouldn't want that to occur, but I don't know if there's technically a law against it necessarily.
I'm not saying a law, but kind of the rules of the course.
Rule, law, it's kind of whatever you want to make it to be. I mean, it's frowned upon,
It's courtesy.
but I don't think it's technically something you can't do.
So theoretically, just like the business example you gave, that business could ask that you leave
Yep.
under a, basically the premise of staying there would be trespassing then, if you wanted to go to that length.
Let's just not do it. How about that?
That's right. Yeah. Anything further? Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Schneider.
Yes.
Rathe.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
On a vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, the second reading of Ordinance 1114 is approved. Brings us to item 2, the second reading of Ordinance 1115, repealing and replacing Section 105.5.10 thereof entitled Golf Carts, and enacting and adopting a new Section 105.5.10 Golf Carts. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of the second reading of ordinance 1115, repealing and replacing section 105.5.10, therefore thereof entitled golf carts, and enacting and adopting a new section 105.5.10 golf carts.
Second.
Motion by Meyers, second by Rathe. Council discussion?
As long as we have to drag this out for 3 readings, it gives the newspaper a good opportunity to jump in and help explain this to the public and get the word out on that. It does not no good if we just pass it and no one knows about it.
Anything further? Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Rathe.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Bergen.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Vote is 6-0 and 1 absent. The second reading of ordinance 1115 is approved. Brings us to item number 3, resolution 22-163, accepting the Whitetail Bluff Addition erosion and sediment repairs is complete and paying the balance withheld. Entertain a motion.
I will move approval of Resolution 22-163, accepting the Whitetail Bluff Addition erosion and sediment repairs as complete and paying the $5,000 balance withheld for city-funded sanitary sewer infrastructure to JDM Property Holdings LLC of North Sioux City, South Dakota.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Rathe. Council discussion.
Can we get some context about this? Like, I mean,
Sure.
are we satisfied with the job that was done? I mean, how did this happen? I mean,
Photos.
yeah, I mean, I see the photos. I mean,
Yeah, you're a professor, so it's a passing grade, but it's not a stellar grade.
okay,
So
so
it's satisfactory.
we're satisfactory, so we're hoping that there won't be continued problems here, but we're basically letting them off the hook for now, or letting them off the hook.
We still have to maintain it to an extent, but we are paying them for what they've accomplished to do. We will have discussions with them going forward if this continues to be a nuisance. But as
Okay.
Mike said, I like the analogy, it's a C, it's not an A.
Okay,
But it is suffice to what we needed to get this done.
okay.
Okay. Hearing nothing further, roll call, Carla.
Myers,
Yes.
Kangas,
Yes.
Drenkow,
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Rathe.
Yes.
On a vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, Resolution 22-163 is approved. Item 4 is Resolution 22-164, approving a request to reduce the required performance and maintenance guarantees for Anna Estates First Edition. Seek a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-164, approving the request to reduce the required performance and maintenance guarantees for Anna Estates First Edition to $200,000.
Second.
Motion by Rathe, second by Birgen. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, roll call, Carla.
Kangas,
Yes.
Drenkow,
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Rathe.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, Resolution 22-164 is approved. Item 5 is Resolution 22-165, setting a public hearing for the review of the plan specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost for the Rolling Prairie Trail Extension Project. Entertain a motion.
I will move approval of Resolution 22-165, setting a public hearing at 7:00 PM on January 9, 2023, in the council chambers at City Hall for the review of the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated costs for the Rolling Prairie Trail Extension Project.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Meyers. Council discussion.
I feel like I'm having deja vu. It feels like this comes up repeatedly. Where are we in actually getting this done?
So, on the second page, we have the schedule. And, yep, back on September 12th, I think I mentioned that the next action item would be to set the public hearing. This actually has federal funds in the project. So the DOT will take care of the letting, and that is scheduled for December 20th. And I apologize, the schedule on the backside does not include this meeting. So the December 5th meeting to set the public hearing. DOT is bid lines December 20th, and on January 9th, we'll hold the public hearing, and we'll hopefully be able to award the project as well. And then spring construction.
All right.
Obviously, we finally got all the construction details worked out on this.
Let's hope so.
Hopefully.
Let's hope so. It seems to have taken longer than it should have.
Yeah.
All right, hearing nothing further, roll call, Carla.
Drenkow,
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Rathe.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, Resolution 22-165 is approved. Item 6 is Resolution 22-166, approving the final plat and development agreement for the Cedar Square subdivision. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-166, approving the final plat for the Cedar Square subdivision and the development agreement regarding water detention on Tract B, and authorizing the mayor to sign the development contract.
Second.
Motion by Rathe, second by Kangas. Council discussion, if any.
I have a question about Lot 1. Is there going to be access through the residential area? So there is that road that dead ends there, and there's a driveway at the end. Will there be access to that Lot 1 via the residential?
Don't believe so when it's
No.
double Ramsey.
No. There's no plan for that at this point.
You say there's no plan for it, does that mean what is stopping them from adding that driveway into like a back entrance to their property?
Because we own that space. We will own that space.
We will own that space.
And, yes.
Which-
So maybe you could just give us sort of an overview
Yeah, so
of the
the-
diagrams and the,
So the reason we are not connecting that is that it wouldn't be safe to put the street connection that close to the 4th Street. And they
Right.
didn't want to use up part of their lot to have a connection go across that area. So they would have given
Right.
up, and we purchased that. So there isn't going to be any connection. It'll still be the residential, still go out to the north. It'll still be a dead end of that.
You know, so,
that
so,
frontage road in front of those
right,
houses.
so the city of Waverly owns the frontage road?
It owns the tract that is, yeah, it owns the extension all the way over to that.
Okay.
It's part of the right-of-way, or it will be part of the right-of-way.
Right,
And on the other side, there's a deal that was made between the DOT and that homeowner
Right.
to have that gravel road to their house, and they will continue to be able to access that over their seal coat road.
okay. I'm just trying to make sure, so does the city owns that part of the road and they're gonna not allow a driveway off it?
We would not allow a driveway off of it, no.
Okay, there's an existing driveway at the moment, though, from the
That's-
leftover property.
Yeah, that's actually a parcel that's owned by the city right now. They own that 28-foot strip there where that driveway section is.
Right, I mean, so this house that's shown on here is no longer there,
Right.
but the driveway still is.
Yes.
Okay, but since the city owns, we'll put language in saying that they're not allowed access through that?
Right. They know they're not allowed access, and we won't let them have access to that, through that driveway.
And how will we not let them have that?
We won't let them go that way. I mean, it's just telling them that they can't do it. It's our property, and we are not creating a direct connection to that road.
Okay, I suppose is this part not part of the, so that you're saying this part is what's owned by the city of Waverly?
So there's a strip,
Is there a way you
Yeah.
could put it up?
and right below that, there's a
Right,
strip.
but there's an access right here.
Okay, there's a strip right here that we own.
So just at the tip of this or
Yes.
something?
And I think
Yeah, it's right here.
the driveway connection right there, it works for a good turnaround if somebody comes to the end of the street and they can't go back.
They can use
Okay.
it
They can use
to get
that to turn
that
around.
house.
Okay, well,
Right, he's talking
I suppose
about-
I'm hoping that there's some sort of language in there, like guaranteeing that's not gonna happen, because I just,
Well, they wouldn't want to develop on that. That takes you far out of your way to get good access to the intersection that they're building for
well,
this property. So
I'm assuming that they're
they're
gonna
not
have
going to
some sort of
develop
main
off that.
entrance here.
Correct.
But there's nothing, I wanna know what's stopping them from then having a second exit or entrance at the back.
We put up something that would obstruct them from doing so.
Okay,
We'll dead end it right there at that driveway,
So
not having
we'll-
it removed,
dead end here or something?
something
Okay.
like that, sure.
Okay,
They will not be allowed to pursue that. That would make
Okay.
no sense for them to do it regardless, coming into the backside of a property when you're spending the money they're going to create this cul-de-sac to do that.
well, the idea that we can predict what someone's gonna want makes me a little nervous.
Well, we can predict them not doing it with barricades to prevent it. And we can have them remove the driveway as well, the plating will not get finalized. So we do have teeth to make that occur.
Okay.
So could you just give us a little tour through this that she just put up there?
So this portion right here, there's a strip that's 28 foot wide, and then it's the length of that lot, is owned by the city right now. It was given to it was conveyed to the city before all this ever occurred. There's not going to be any connection because the connection would have had to come up like this in order to be safe. And so we're not going to do that, and they don't want it either. They're going to access it from the front. So that's how they're going to access Lot 1. It's just going to be, I think there will be the proper things to end that little driveway, so you can use it as a turnaround. I mean, it does work if somebody goes that far and realizes they can't go through. So we'll do that appropriately, and then that'll get designed to go out the front towards their cul-de-sac, the street.
Yeah, and there are already signs on that road coming off of 10th that say no through
Right,
access
yeah,
or
right.
not coming through the
Right.
road or something like that, so.
So this area is.
Thank you.
I suppose I'm also looking at Lot 2, which seems to have like half of it in the 100-year floodplain. I'm looking at kind of page 5 of this. It looks like there's a whole lot of that's in the,
That's a waterway. That's the,
Yeah.
down the hill.
That's the drainage waterway.
right,
So
so like,
not the floodplain, it's just a waterway drainage, I don't believe.
So the part to the west, is that in the floodplain or just that narrow piece?
So the part to the, you do see a waterway that is next to the golf course. It's the dry run branch that comes off of way up by Walker's and it starts up Walmart and ends up going through. That's where it drains through. And if you saw the elevations, there's some way up that hill that you can start developing. I mean, it's a pretty steep.
It's a pretty
bank.
good drop off
Yeah.
back on that.
Drop off.
I mean, that, it looks like those lines are the 100-year floodplain and the 500-year floodplain that are right there, but it looked like, I mean, half of the lot is out of the floodplain, but it looks like the other half of it is in the floodplain. So I mean, I suppose they'll have to know what they're building there. I'm assuming that you're not allowed to put like basement or anything in the floodplain.
Right. That's why we review those site plans for the elevations and things that we look for and where they can actually, because there's a floodplain ordinance which prevents them from doing that without a floodplain permit.
Do we know what's going to go in here? Or any idea?
We know that there's one tenant coming in, and that'll come through probably pretty soon.
And I also see there's note that the stoplight's being moved.
It's being moved so that we can
Put the road in.
widen the
Yeah.
entrance to the street. And the mast can just be moved over. It's quite a ways into the intersection, so it can be moved over to the south and, without any difficulty.
I assume it'll no longer be kind of it'll be a true crossing as opposed to, right now it's kind of a T,
Yeah.
so.
Anything further? Hearing none, roll call Carla.
Birgen.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Rathe.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, Resolution 22-166 is approved. Item 7 is Resolution 22-167, approving the construction plans and construction and maintenance guarantees for the Cedar Square subdivision. Entertain a motion.
I'll move approval of Resolution 22-167, approving the construction plans and the construction and maintenance guarantees for the Cedar Square subdivision.
Second.
Motion by Drenkow, second by Rathe. Council discussion. Hearing none, roll call Carla.
Schneider.
Yes.
Rathe.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Kangas.
Yes.
Drenkow.
Yes.
Birgen.
Yes.
Vote of 6-0 and 1 absent, Resolution 22-167 is approved. Brings us to item 8, the cancellation of December 26, 2022 study session meeting due to the holiday. Entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve to cancel the December 26, 2022 study session meeting due to the holiday.
Second.
Motion by Schneider, second by Meyers. Council discussion.
I don't think we need to deny Shar an extra.
I was gonna say, you're getting shorted. You don't oppose? Don't wanna argue?
No argument for me.
All right.
Is City Hall going to be closed that day?
So outside of that, I'm sure, as always, when we cancel such meetings, there's thoughtful consideration of the business of the city that we don't have anything that would need to have timely discussion, because it's not a business meeting, so.
It's just a study session.
Right.
so.
Perfect. All right, anything else? Last chance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Section 9 is approval of the mayoral appointments. Approve the following mayoral appointments. Sherry Human and Tara Winter are reappointed on the Leisure Services Commission for terms expiring December 31st of '25. Brent Jones and Sally Thorson are reappointed on the Golf Commission for terms expiring January 1st, 2026. Kathy McClung and Ron Stahlberg are reappointed on the Municipal Housing Commission for terms expiring January 1st, 2025. And Rich Greenlee is appointed on the Civil Service Commission for a term expiring May 1st, 2028. Entertain a motion.
Move approval of mayoral appointments is read by the mayor.
Second.
Motion by Kangas, second by Birgen. Council discussion, if any. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Section K is reports from boards and commissions. Item 1 is the Leisure Services Commission minutes of October 20th of 2022. And item 2 is the Waverly Senior Center calendar of December 2022 received into the record. Section L is staff updates. Mr. Bronner.
I don't think we have any tonight, sir.
Perfect. Moves us to City Council comments in Section M with Mr. Birgen.
Well, there is still time to get on the Wartburg football bandwagon if you haven't yet. They won again this past week. This coming weekend, they'll be playing at Mount Union in Alliance, Ohio. But it will be broadcast on ESPN Plus, so there will be the opportunity to watch it if you don't want to drive all the way out there. Let's see. I want to encourage people to go to Christmas on Main, which is this Thursday. I'm sure other people will talk about that as well. But since we have an executive session, I won't be joining anyone for a beer afterwards.
As a note, K-Way will be broadcasting the game live as well. So notice the time change too, into Central Time. Ms. Rathe.
Nothing from me.
Ms. Meyers.
I just wanted to express gratitude for the people who have been the last few years organizing the Christmas lighted parade. I think it's awesome that we have that in our community now, and hope that it continues in future years.
Excellent. Mr. Schneider.
Nothing from me.
Mr. Drenkow.
Nope.
Sorry? Good to go?
I'm good.
All right, Mr. Kangas.
I would second Councilman Meyers' comments on the lighted parade. I think it's, if there's something positive out of COVID and some of the things, this is one of those traditions that I would like to see continue because it's pretty neat.
Absolutely. As for myself, I do not have any comments this evening, so I'll move to Section O, Executive Session. Item number 1 is to discuss collective bargaining strategy